Perfect. So it does seem like you can. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you, first of all, what I did here to start because I got this idea to do this after the fact. Okay, so for my book size is actually going to be 6 by 9, but because I'm putting in bleed in the margins, that's the new dimension. So facing pages, first page is right. That's pretty standard. Okay, so for my book, the inside, it's the gutter. For my purposes, because it's going to be a journal in a paperback, I want to avoid the user having to open the book super, super wide to write in it. So I'm just having a really wide inner gutter so I can help protect the book. The outside will be just 0.6, which is pretty standard. Top and bottom are both 0.55, and that's totally good. The bleed, so this is where you get that extra 2.5-inch measurement on both dimensions for the 6.25 and 9.25. It's because the bleed goes all the way around at a 0.125-inch metric. So that's where we start. So this is where we begin. So I have a title page that was made, and because, so the red line is the bleed, and then the blue line is my gutter margin. So ostensibly everything in the blue is the super safety. Everything out in between the red and the blue is at risk, and everything past the red is getting cut off. That's what that means. So I will first go ahead and start with my master pages. So I've just entered 18 pages because this is going to be a honkin' book. And it's very much, you'll see. So the master pages. So we'll begin by making a new master page. It will be a right facing page. We're going to call this one, what are we calling this one? We'll call it right, no, we'll call it border, no, hold on. My brain has just taken a vacation. We're going to call this FM, okay, front matter right. Okay. Then we're going to make another one, front matter left, and we're going to change this and make it a left page. Okay, so for the left, we're on the left, so you can see that the gutter is much wider on this side, so this is the left page. And then on the right, you see the same thing over here, that's the right page. So here, what we're going to do, everything that you put on a master page is going to automatically show up when you apply the master page. So any text that you want to be different page to page, do not put on this. This is just for if you have like artwork that's going to be the same, like if you have like page breakers or things that are always going to show up in the same place, this is what you'll put there. But you'll see as I do this. So what you're going to do, and you have your shortcuts right here, but for the purpose of the video, I'm going to just do everything here. Image frame. So this is left. I'm going to do, because I want the bleed, I'm going to do something like this. Okay, for now, that's okay. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it on here, and I'm just going to move this over because then I don't need to guess. You have to move it side to side, but then it's automatically in the same place up and down when you copy and paste. So it keeps everything visually in line, and then you just move it over side to side. So then we're going to go back here, and I right clicked, you right click, get image. So for my purposes, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a lot of downloads. So we're going to go way the heck over here. And it's going to be that one. No, it's not. It's going to be get image secondary. It's going to be this one. Okay. It doesn't look right, right? It doesn't look right. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to right click again. We're going to adjust image to frame, and that should make it look better. And then you're going to just finagle it a little bit to get it exactly where you want it to be. Kind of hard to see sometimes exactly where it is, but you will work with it. And I want the text just gonna finesse it a little bit. Okay, I think I like that. Then we're gonna copy that again, put it over here, move it over like I said, and then we're gonna click get image again, and then you're gonna put whatever you want right there. And then that should be all aligned. So you can see up here, it's going to be cut off at the top. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I kind of, yeah, I don't mind that. So that's the front matter, right page and left page. We're going to rename this one actually, if I can. Yeah, front matter main, right? And then we're going to do another front matter right. Okay, then we're going to copy this one again. And we're going to put it here. And we're going to move it over. And that should be all of those. Okay. So then I still have more to do. Most people at this point are going to be done. But just so you can see the different functions, I'm going to just take you through this. I think it's a cool thing to do anyway. Okay, so we're going to do week intro, new right page. We're going to copy and paste this thing again because this has the dimensions for my funky dunky whatever. So weekly header page. Now for this one, it's always going to be a right page. So I'm not going to have to do anything to make it a left. So that's just going to be week intro. I don't need to specify what page inside it's on because I know it's always going to be on the right. And it's sometimes an industry standard to always have a new chapter on the right page. And then even if it means a blank page on the left, but I kind of just don't like that look. So I've designed this to not have to do that. So then we're going to do a left page, and it's going to be day 1, 2. Day 1, 2. And here, so we're going to copy and paste that again. Get image, days 1 and 2. So, and it really, really helps when you label everything, all your files properly, because then you don't need to worry about things not working out. Okay, I think I like that. And then it's day 3, which will be a right page. Copy and paste, move over, get image, day 3. Okay, that should be all good. And then the final one is going to be another left one. And it's going to be day 7. And I'm not, there's more of them, obviously, because well, what's happening with 4, 5, 6? Well, it's because it's going to just use the template for days 1, 2, and 3. It's going to just repeat. Day 7 is different, though, because you need to do just that. And then that's all done. Okay, so then I think we're all good for the master pages for now. So we'll end edit. We'll stop that for a sec. Now we're going to go back to edit and we're going to go to styles now. Click that and then you can just open this more. So we're going to do, yeah, sometimes that's a little funky dunky as well. You just need to click on something and then the full thing opens. I hope this is showing, honestly. But if it's not, oops. Anyway, style manager. So there's paragraph styles and character styles. So paragraph styles is going to be, actually, I'm going to start with character style because this is like your text and fonts. We're going to do new. We're going to do character style, chapter headings. So we're going to put, oh, that's really hard to see. And it would be really helpful if I remembered what the title of the goddamn script was, wouldn't it be? It's probably up at the beginning though. Okay, so I used just I did all my sourcing for, I believe it's that one, public domain fonts. You can find them in a bunch of different areas, but if you got to make sure you're reading the licensing. Some of them require payment, some of them require licensing, some of them require a shout out, some of them don't need anything at all. This is one that doesn't require anything at all, but it's always nice to still shout out the person you're getting your font from. So that would be a page called a colophon or a colophon. And you basically just acknowledge the font and give a little bit of a little blurb or note about it. You have the size. I'm going to just play around with it because it's hard to tell without seeing it on the page or the screen, but 28, it seems big for font, so that should be good. And then you're going to do, you shouldn't have to deal with much of this in terms of spacing, but you have your underline, you have your strike through, you have your like little fonts that like where the 2 is, so like this would be your like superscript, whatever. And then you have line, like, what do you call that? I wish you could hover. There we go. Offset, baseline, scaling width of characters, tracking, and scaling height. Space, you can put like 100%, that's fine. I'm going to click apply. There's chapter headings. Then you're going to do new character style. And this is going to be my text block font. So then I'm going to do, I always like EB Garamond, or do I have, is it EB Garamond or do I have the Cormorant? I can't remember. It's, yeah, it's EB, wherever that ad is. E Garamond 9. Okay. So 14 or 12 should be fine. Then you have your whatever, your italics and stuff. Add. And we're gonna do, that should be okay for now. Okay, so paragraph style, new. We're gonna do first paragraph. And we're doing a first paragraph and second paragraph because I am pretentious and ostentatious and I love dramatic drop caps. So we're going to be doing those. And I also really like always doing justified. I don't do this one though, because it's forced justified and sometimes it looks wonky, so just the align text justified is fine. Yeah, I think that's okay, and we can fiddle around with it after. And we're gonna do based on chapter heading because we already have that fancy font there. And then maybe just a little bit of distance from the text. And then we're going to do character style based on text block. So this will mean that the drop cap is going to be in my fancy font, and then the rest of the paragraph will be in my regular font. And that should be good. So then you do new paragraph style, second paragraph. And again, you're going to do based on text block. Now on this one, we want indents. So we're going to do, again, justified, and then tabs and indentation. I think we'll see what 0.25 looks like. Sometimes it's not enough, like with what it looks like, but we'll start with that and see what happens. And I think that'll be good. Not based on anything there, apply. Okay, so then we're gonna do new, paragraph style, chapter titles. This one's gonna be centered. And it's gonna be based on, not based on anything there. No indentation, none of that. No drop caps, character style based on headings. And then it just automatically does that for you. So you always start with the character styles and then paragraph, because the character style, you can just automatically put all of the text that you want, and then it does that for you, which is nice. I like that. Apply. Okay. So now, I wonder if I still have the, yeah, it still goes there. Okay, so I'm going to put that all the way to the side. And I have a one-off image that I'm going to do here. We're going to go to Files, Bonus, Title. Boom. Okay. From here, I always adjust image to frame just in case it doesn't. Embed image. And then preview settings, I always do full resolution just because then I get a clear look of what it's going to look like. Make sure I like what that looks like. And then I also go to image effects, and I always make sure that it's in grayscale, because for printing, that's a necessity. Okay, this is going to be a blank page, so I don't really need to worry about that one. But this is going to go here again. We're going to click Get Image, and then we're going to go back to that other thing that I had, Fairy Tale in the Making Planning. Okay, frontispiece. Boom. Okay. Again, embed image. Oh, I have to do that on the master pages again too as well. I forgot about that. Full resolution, image effects, grayscale. Okay. And apply. So those are, that's done. That's good. Me likey. And then from there, I'm just wondering if there's a way for me to still see what's underneath, but we'll skip from that for now. From here, we're going to, I'm going to show you how to apply a master page. So you're gonna, you can right click and just click apply master page, and you can apply it to, obviously in this case it's current page, we're going to do front matter main right. So then that automatically applies right there. Then we're going to do the same here, apply master page, and it's going to be front matter left. And then apply master page, front matter right. Cool. So now I'm going to show you how to do some text. So from here, we're going to go to, where's the text box here? I never remember where the thing is. Okay, so it's text frame. You can click T. So I'm actually going to just practice that. T. Okay, you get that. So from here, I'm going to do right there. And then what you can do is, it's really not good to try and just put introduction right there because you have no way of actually changing the font there. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually open edit text with story editor. So then it opens up this new window. So because I've already done this, chapter title already goes there, and this is where we're going to see our very first attempt. Then you click here and we see what that looks like. Now I actually think that can be much bigger. So we're going to go back to the edit and then styles, and we're going to go to chapter titles, and I'm going to make that 45. Enter, apply. And I think that's a much better size. I think that's easier to see. But I might even just go 50, apply. And so here's a good example of what happens when your text box is not big enough. Your text will disappear and this little X will show that you have an error somewhere in your document. So 50 might be too big. No, 50 is just perfect. Okay. I also like just making the box as it needs to be. And then you can just fiddle around with that setting there. So then, and these lines don't show up when you're printing. It's just for you to be able to see where all of your elements are, which is kind of a nice feature. So I have another little text thing that's going to go here, but I'm going to skip that for now. I'm actually going to go to this space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that T for text again, and more or less in line with that, I'm going to just create that text box. So there's a text box. I'm going to copy that to keep those dimensions, and then I'm going to center that as best as I can there, and then just drag that up as necessary, copy, paste over, move it centered. So right now what you're doing is you're essentially just designing everything where your text will go so that when you do get to the text, it is super, super, super quick. And I'm going to show you a neat little trick for a lot of tutorials I've seen. They'll individually put the text, see what fits, and then copy what doesn't fit, put it into this. It's a whole mess. So there's a very easy way where I'm going to show you where you can link. And I just need to look at the thing here. So it's the N. If you just hold that, click N, and you click this font, that shows you where the relationship is. So everything that you put text-wise from here will automatically go and fill this as well. So then, got it, thank you. Okay, so you're going to click that, click N. And then so from there, you'll see when you have text, all of this will, when you put it in, it'll go from here to here to here. And I think that'll be enough room for what that is going to be. Then maybe I'll just practice and show you this one. So from here, I'm going to need to open my fairy tale in the making. I've just got so much stuff. Okay, I found it. Reminder to always, not just to me, but to you, to always name your files what they're actually called. So anyway, here we have the text. So we're going to copy that. And in here, we're going to go to the text editor, which is here. No, it's not. Whatever. Right here. So enter text editor. We're going to go right here. So this is where we apply the styles. So for the first one, it's going to be first paragraph. And for this stuff, it's going to be second paragraph. And then we're going to go apply. And it automatically then just goes there. And we're going to just delete that because that's not needed. Cool. I do think we can change the drop cap setting because I think it doesn't need to be that far away, contrarily to what I said earlier. So we're going to do first paragraph, drop cap. We're going to go like that, apply. And I think that's perfect, just like that. So there we go. That's how you do that. So we're going to apply. We're going to delete, actually, hold up. We're going to delete that. And we're actually going to apply another master page here because I overestimated what that needed to be. So now it's front matter, main, right, current, boom. So then we go back to our document and it's going to be how to use this journal. So we can actually just copy that, put that there. How to use this journal. We're going to write, actually, we're going to go like that. And then for this, because of the way that the font is, we're actually going to have to, and I'm going to scroll up so I can still see it. We're going to have to go back to styles. We're going to go back to headings. And for this one, is it this setting? Oh, I don't want it to actually touch that. I just want it to touch this. Maybe it's that? Nope, it's not that. Maybe that? Nope. That's 100. Kind of, I guess. Still not exactly what I'm looking for here. I think it's this, but no, it's not. Why is it doing that? And I love that you guys get to see me actually work through this in live time because it's so real and I want you to know that everyone struggles with this shit. Pardon my French. So maybe going here and fixing this. I don't know. Ah, here we go. This is what it is. So you got to go to the paragraph style, not the character style. That's too much. I think I can separate it a little bit more, and I think that's perfect. Okay, so from there, didn't change that one, just fixed that and how that shows up. So then we're going to do this again. So copy this, put that there, and then we're going to just delete all that text and rinse and repeat. We're going to take this one and we're going to apply master page. This one's going to be front matter left. We're going to apply, oh no, not that one. Just kidding. We're going to take this one, copy, paste. We're going to remove all that text. And then that should be okay. Okay, so then we're going to do the text again. And then I do have, these are going to be different. And I think this one's going to be more pages. So just bear with me here. So this is going to be first paragraph. This is going to be second paragraph and second paragraph. Okay, so then you click onto the text box that you have the text in. You're going to click N and you're going to link it to the next one. So as you can see, it's still not enough room. So we're going to apply master page right or front matter right. Have that there. I'm going to copy that, paste there. I'm going to remove the text from this one and go all the way over. You're going to click this again, you're going to click N, you're going to bring it over. So that should be enough. And I actually think I want that text there centered. So we're going to go here at the bottom. You can manually move things. I also think I want this to be italic. And I also don't want that to have the indent. So we're going to make this the default paragraph style. No, that's not what I want to do. This default paragraph style. This one we're going to have to manually do. You can manually do it as well. But as you can see, it's much, much easier to not do it that way. We had everything at 14, centered. Okay, apply. So why are you still doing that? That's not what I want to do. Okay. We're going to go here, styles. We're going to do new paragraph style. Centered. We're going to do centered there. No, nothing here. Character style based on text block. But this one's going to be italic. Apply. Now we'll see if this works here. We're going to call that, what was that one? Centered. Now it's working. Okay, I think the 14 font is too big though. So now we're going to go back to styles. Properties. No. Okay, well that's 12. So why is that so much bigger? Oh, is it because in here I made it call that still. Okay, there. And I think we can add some extra spaces there. Because it's just kind of a place for someone to write their stuff. So then for here, we're going to look at those again. So these ones we'll call centered maybe. And then add a little elaborate flourish thingy thing. Let's see if that's a font. Yeah, there. That works for me. You know what? I might actually just separate them a little bit. Give them the space they deserve. Yeah, that looks nice, I think. Okay, another thing is that if you ever see lines like that on the top, I believe that side is called an orphan. And if you have it on the bottom of the other one, it's a widow. So that's the widow and orphans. I personally don't give a shit. It's an industry standard to not have widows and orphans, but it just wastes paper and designing space, and you know, like, who cares? The only time I'll care about a hanging line like that is if it's a single line on like a blank, otherwise blank page. Then I might try and figure something else out, but I personally don't care. But I just wanted to point out that that's what that's called, is a widow and an orphan, depending on where it is on the page. So that's beginning of that. So we can take that and go back up here. Hello. B. No. Copy. Paste. Okay, so this one will say this journal belongs to. We'll move that up. And that's all ready to go. I think that looks a little big. We'll make that a bit smaller. And I'll just move that down a little bit and to the right. Perfect. Okay. So I think that's where I'll leave this for now. But it kind of gives you an idea of how the master pages work, how to add text, how to add pictures. Oh, actually, we'll just go back to the master page. All of these, embed, full resolution, image effects, grayscale. Okay. And then you do it for all of the master pages, and then it automatically does that for each master page that you apply. So instead of having to individually do it to each of them, you can simply do it to the master page, make sure you do it for each of the master pages, and then you're good to go. And then we also covered how to bring text from one page to another simply and easily.